Ottawa Eats. I'm your host, Tom Schoch. So what does this, the 27 Club, and beautiful cuisine have in common? Why, a beautiful restaurant called the Waverly. We also have really tall people here. Hey, welcome to Ottawa Eats. Let's make some drinks and food. Welcome to another edition of Ottawa Eats. We're at the Waverly. This is the lovely Layla. Thank you so much for having us. And you're going to tell us all about this restaurant, but I'm going to give you some very poignant questions, all right? Ready?
Ready.
Okay. What's the deal with the artwork on the walls? What is all this stuff? I noticed you have Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain. Is this like a rock and roll place?
Kind of. We do have an emphasis on music here. Mm-hmm. We do have DJs, but it's more so a throwback of the 80s and the 27 Club.
Oh, very cool. Okay, 27 Club. If people don't know what the 27 Club it is...
Joplin, Hendrix, Amy Winehouse, Van Morrison.
All kind of went away at the age of 27.
Exactly.
So very cool. Nice little homage to the music roots. And you have some very cool stuff in here too. I mean, the motif on the bar and the way everything looks. So what kind of event are you looking to have here? If somebody's looking to have an event, it's kind of...
We do everything. We do corporate events, we do birthdays, we do stageettes, we've done anniversary parties, engagement parties, bridal showers. So we pretty much cover it all.
Okay, so tell me about the food. When you come in here and somebody's coming right off the street and they say, hey, what is your signature dish, or the one dish that maybe it's not your signature, that maybe that you would recommend that you've had?
Definitely our lobster mac and cheese is one of our signature dishes. The menu is all made in-house, all made from scratch. So we really pride ourselves on that. We like to serve comfort food with our twist on it. Okay. So we're kind of, doing pub food, upper scale.
Oh, very cool. All right, and of course, with the pub comes the alcohol as well.
We have lots of that.
I see it behind you. Are there some signature drinks that you do as well?
Sure. George will be making some for you later. We have our avocado gimlet. We do an up and smoke that's really popular. We just have a big emphasis on craft cocktails in general, so we have about 12 of them on our list.
Okay, so craft cocktails, in-house food. What's
craft
not to
beer,
love? Right.
wine.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so it's on Elgin Street if you're looking for it. Elgin and...
Waverly.
Wow, what a surprise. What a stunning surprise. So come down and check it out, and we're going to hop into the kitchen and behind the bar and figure out what you guys do. All right, there you go. It's called Ottawa Eats, but with food, of course, you have to have a delightful drink. And when you come to the Waverly, this man could be making your drink. This is George. George, thanks for letting me wreck your bar.
Thanks for wrecking my bar.
Hasn't happened yet, but I'm sure it will happen very soon. You're going to show us two drinks here. These are some of the signature drinks that you have here?
Yes. Today we have two of our very famous drinks that we do here at the Waverly. One is the avocado gimlet. Very nice, easy drinking summer cocktail. Great for any time of the year, actually. It's very creamy, easy drinking. People like it a lot. Okay. And we have our Up and Smoke, which is a smoke-infused Manhattan, or if you otherwise like an old-fashioned style drink.
Now we should clarify, when people say smoke-infused, it doesn't mean he just drops a cigarette butt in it. That it's actually smoke-infused and it's a good flavor. So don't worry about that. But he's actually going to show you how you go through the entire thing. So let's start with drink number one.
Sure, the avocado gimlet.
All right.
First off, take our shaker, add couple sugar cubes, and then here at the Waverly we like to use fresh ingredients, locally sourced, keep everything as local and as fresh as we possibly can. Muddle these two in together.
Now when you're making a cocktail, it's important to do it in a certain sequence, is it not?
For most cocktails, yes. Okay. Some flavors are released when you're doing certain things. Say if you're making a mojito, you'll want to add the mint and your sugars first. That way the mint flavors and the sugars right from the actual mint and everything secretes properly and goes very well together.
Okay.
But in this case, as I was saying, the avocado and the sugar, when you muddle them together, you get a nice fine paste. That way when you go to shake it with your rest of your ingredients, it's going to be a little bit more silky, a little bit more smooth.
Not chunky or anything.
Exactly.
Like that. Okay, right.
So after muddling for a little bit, we get a nice little paste in there. We're going to add 2 ounces of our in-house infused gin. We do 2 ounces of rosemary infused gin, half an ounce of a apple liqueur. Today we're using Bearzen, and for the gin we typically use Tanqueray 10.
It smells very fresh actually already.
After that, take our fresh squeezed lime juice, about 2 ounces worth. Our simple syrup, which we make daily here, about 1 ounce of that. Grab our shaker. This cocktail is a double shake, so you shake it first without the ice. This is just to get everything all mixed in nicely together.
Right.
That way you get a nice little smooth texture right from the very beginning.
Very nice.
Then on the second half, you add ice cubes just to chill it off and gives it a little bit more fluid in there because the ice will melt a little bit, but it'll be just enough to make it chilled and taste very nice for us. For this cocktail, we always double strain, so you take your first strainer, your second strainer. This way, if there's any chunks that are left in it, they don't permeate into the drink and confuse your taste buds or your mouth.
Look at that. That's a beautiful color.
And just to finish it off, we take some fresh rosemary, just dab it right on top there, and there is our avocado gimlet.
All right, there we go. 1 drink down, second drink.
That would be our up and smoke.
All right.
This one, very nice and easy. Throw in some ice into the shaker. Start with our bourbon, 2 ounces of bourbon. And then we do half an ounce of plum wine. Adds a little bit of richness, a little bit of sweetness in there.
Is there a specific liquor that you really like working with?
Yes, we really like to use Woodford Reserve for most of our cocktails.
Okay.
It's a little bit higher end bourbon, but we find that it actually adds a little bit more texture, a little bit more deepness to the flavors.
Right.
And then we have an in-house tobacco simple syrup that we make here. This one adds a little bit of complexity, and it goes very well with the actual smokiness that we're going to be doing after we combine all of our ingredients.
All right.
So once those are all together, give it a nice little stir. You don't want to shake anything that has bourbon or whiskey because it tends to, what people like, they could say, bruising the alcohol. Add a couple squirts of Angostura bitters just to complement the flavor of the bourbon. Stir it up. And then we have the real fun part now. We get to play with fire.
Oh, I saw the blowtorch. I don't want to say anything because I didn't want to say, oh, yeah.
I do know what I'm doing.
Yeah. You essentially just made a fire.
Yes.
That's what
We let it burn and sizzle for a couple seconds. Just get that smoke going really nice.
Are you the campfire guy?
I always was. I love Cub Scouts.
Really?
Yeah. And
At
when
the
she's
Waverly,
going,
Cub Scout makes your drink.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Great how things
Work out.
You grow up, you start getting a little bit better. So once you get the smoke going nice, we just fill up our decanter here. And today we're using an oak-based wood chips. That way you get a nice earthy, nice deep, not too pungent, not too overpowering, just enough to complement the taste of the bourbon. Once you're nice and full there with smoke, I always say to our guests when they sit down, they order it from us, to let the bourbon and the whole cocktail sit inside the decanter with the smoke for about a good 2.5 minutes. That way you're getting a very nice smoky flavor. Not too much, just enough to let your taste buds know that you're getting something pretty special.
That's amazing.
And the way we serve it here, we have our nice big cocktail rock glass with a whiskey cube. And that way, when we go to pour the bourbon in, we present it to them. They get to make the drink themselves. So at the Waverly here, we like to give as much experience to our guests when they're sitting down enjoying the drinks. So when they go to pour their drink, you can get up to 3 drinks if you'd like from the actual cocktail.
Nice little sippy drink.
This way, after the 2-minute mark, that's when the flavor starts really coming in. Pour it in little by little, and then as the smoke gets in there deep, you get to taste a different cocktail every time you pour your drink for yourself again.
There you go. Drinks by George at the Waverly. George, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate that. And that is an absolutely beautiful, both beautiful creations right here at the Waverly. Come have a drink. So we've got our beautiful drinks ready, so now we need a beautiful dish, and so we have a beautiful man who's going to make a beautiful dish here at the Waverly. That's how this works. You are a taller man than I had imagined.
Only slightly.
Yeah, is that why these overhead fans are so high?
Yeah, it's so that I don't bonk my head all the
Okay,
time.
good. Very considerate of them here. So what are we making for dish number 1? What is it?
First, we're going to do our Norwegian cod with winter ratatouille, kale, and some beurre blanc sauce. This is all the ingredients that we would use to make our beurre blanc. And then we've got our winter ratatouille here, which is a mix of kind of root veg and carrots.
All right.
And some kale there. First thing we want to do is get this fish cooked off. So we're going to season it.
Okay.
A little salt, some pepper. Get our pan hot. You cook fish in a pan, you want the pan to be smoking when the fish goes in. Otherwise the fish is going to stick and you're not going to get good color on it.
Right. And you want that sizzle right when it goes in.
That's the sound you want for sure. So you're going to give it a quick sear on one side, get some color on it, then we turn it over. That way the skin can cook and get crispy. In the meantime, we're going to grab another pan, get it ready for our winter ratatouille. Going to heat up on the side. And in this spot, we're going to start our beurre blanc. For the beurre blanc, we're just going to, once the butter is melted and ready to go, we're going to throw some shallots in there and with the butter for the beurre blanc. All right, now that we've got a good sear on both sides, just gonna throw this in the oven to finish. Careful not to take out the eyebrows as well, just for laughs. Get those shallots cooked down a little bit. Get some butter going in the other pan. Once the shallots are cooked down a bit, we're going to add some white wine, and a little bit of white wine vinegar. We're going to reduce it down a bit.
Now, adding the wine to that, is that just basically for the richness of the wine and the butter to combine everything together?
Yeah, that's where your beurre blanc is going to get a lot of its flavor from. It's from that white wine, reduce it down, and then it's classic beurre blanc is white wine and butter. We throw a little bit of vinegar in. A little bit of lemon juice too.
I see how you've removed the seeds.
Yeah.
I don't do that. It's like a little treat whenever you bite into something.
I do this for the dentists of America. Got our butter melted. Throw our ratatouille in. Let it get warm. Get a little sizzle on it. Give it a little toss. It's gonna need a little seasoning too. Salt, the pepper.
It's pretty basic spices. You're not adding a whole bunch of random things.
No, this stuff here has some great flavors on its own, right? Beets and squash and turnip. And at this point, normally I just cover that just so that it can kind of get some heat. Put it on low heat there. This is going to reduce down, and once it reduces far enough, then we're going to start adding just cold cubes of butter in, and a little bit of saffron, and the butter is just going to melt. And you put cold cubes of butter in because the temperature ever gets too high, your beurre blanc will split. So you want to.
So it's a very technical dish. It's something that you have to be kind of careful with, right?
Yeah, it needs attention. It needs a little love. Check our fish now. Now with a white fish, you obviously want to cook it all the way through. It should be nice and flaky. Very close, but not quite there. Check our ratatouille. So at this point we start mixing in the butter. We add a little saffron for color and for flavor. And your finished product would end up being a nice smooth.
Oh wow,
yellow
it's a beautiful color. There's no shame in admitting this.
Yeah.
Have you ever drank that?
Yeah. I've also, it solidifies once it gets cold. And
Right.
I've also just like.
But you only drink it warm.
eating
You don't want to be weird about it, right?
No, but you can eat the solid, you know. It's,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, it's like a pudding.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, very nice.
It's like a butter pudding.
It's better warm though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a great combination of colors and textures too, because you've got this beautiful combination right here, and you have the nice yellow, and then of course you have the fish with it as well.
Yeah, the dish is just colorful.
Yeah.
So now we're going to throw our kale in with our ratatouille. The kale, you want to just get it broken down, coated in butter, not, you don't want to get it too wilty.
Yeah, don't want to kill it.
Back up, yeah, exactly, yeah. Just need to break down the stock just enough so that it's not too crunchy.
What's your least favorite vegetable to work with, you personally?
Work with or,
Yeah.
or eat?
Work with. You just find it finicky, it's It's tough. Or...
We have lots of them, but red beets only because of the the staining.
Right.
It.
Yeah.
I think to work with, that's the only vegetable that I ever gives me any weird
grief?
issues.
Yeah.
All right. Now we can plate. Everything's just about ready. This we're just gonna make a little stack of our ratatouille in the middle. Grab our fish from in the oven. Should be done now. Just throw that on top. Get our beurre blanc. The real secret to this dish is being generous with this amazing sauce.
Oh, very nice. And a beautiful smell to it as well. Oh, very nice.
And there's our Norwegian cat with ratatouille.
Oh, beautiful. Right here at the Waverly. Beautiful colors, beautiful smells.
And it's healthy.
Oh, okay. Wow. And he's also health conscious. I like that. One of the things on the menu that's the backbone of Waverly is, well, a sauce. And it's more than just a regular sauce you get out of a packet. What is this sauce?
This is a classic Mornay bechamel cheese sauce, and it goes on our croque madame, which is what we're going to make in a second, and also goes in our lobster mac, which is one of our more popular items.
Oh, lobster mac sounds amazing. All right, and the sandwich sounds amazing too. So how do you make this sauce? This sounds like a really involved process here.
It is. The first thing you're going to do is you either use milk or half and half cream, which is what we use, and then you're going to take all these ingredients here: bay leaves, half an onion, some parsley, some peppercorns, and you're just going to put it on really low. Keep all that stuff in whole. You don't have to cut it up or anything like that. You're going to keep it on really low. You want it to simmer really gently for at least an hour, kind of thing.
Wow, okay, so it's a long process.
And then from there on the side, you're going to make a classic French roux, which is butter with a little bit of flour. And you take your milk, that's just being flavored with all those aromatics now, and you're going to pour it in to your butter flour mixture. Generally, you want to whisk the entire time you're pouring, but that kind of requires a two-man team. So we're just going to...
I can help. You want me to help? Want me to whisk?
Oh, yeah?
I can whisk. Or I can, yeah, here I'll whisk.
Go for it.
All right. See, I'm not useless. And you said I was useless off camera.
I'm sorry. I would never say that. It's a liar.
I'll hand over the whisk to you.
Now you're just going to whisk constantly, and you want to get this up. Once it gets up to about 80 degrees, that's when the flour will really start to thicken the milk. So you want to get it up to there. You'll notice it start to thicken, and that's when we'll start throwing our cheese in when things get serious.
So this is a very rich but very savory, and it's got a whole bunch of different kind of flavors in here. So this is a very careful sauce that you have to get. It's not something you can just walk away from. Right?
No, this is you have to stand here. Either as soon as you leave it a little bit too long, the flour will burn to the bottom, and as soon as it does, this whole sauce will taste like burnt flour. So you got to stand here and love it, nonstop. You can see it's already starting to get thick, gloopier.
Yeah.
It means we're hitting the right temp, and that's the temp you want it to be at too when you add your cheese. About 80 degrees, your cheese will melt in a lot better than if it's lower.
How long did it take you to perfect making this sauce? Is this...
It took me a couple large burnt batches.
A little bit of yelling?
Yeah, I can remember I once burnt about 40 liters of this at one time.
Oh, well, yeah.
Start again.
Yeah. Do it again.
Do it again, that's right.
Wow, and that does go in very quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, because the milk's already so hot, the cheese is just going to melt in so nicely.
Wow, what a smell coming off of that. That's amazing.
We're just going to throw in a little bit of parm too. Just give it a little bit of extra cheese flavor, a little bit of saltiness. You can see now it's perfect mac and cheese consistency.
That is absolutely gorgeous. That's amazing.
Turn off the heat now. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. You don't need too much salt because the parm adds quite a bit itself. There you go, you got your completed Mornay sauce.
Wow. All right, so that's part of the sandwich that we're going to make. So let's move on to that.
All right, so we're going to take a little bit of butter up our egg bread so that it toasts up nicely. Lots of butter. Put on there. We're going to do a sunny side egg, which goes on top. Throw a little bit of oil on there for our egg. That's gonna fry up on the side. Just throw the cheese on top of the bread. That cook up.
So because you know how to make this, is this something that when people come over to your place, say, hey, can you make me a grilled cheese? And this is what you wheel out instead to impress everybody?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
Sometimes it's something like this. Sometimes I say you're getting grilled cheese, you show up and there's a whole rib dinner. I went to the superstore, I got confused. That happens all the time.
Sorry, I thought you wanted ribs. I didn't.
Yeah. I think I wanted ribs,
Yeah.
but you know.
Yeah. Do you cook a lot for yourself when you're at home?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. That's a little bit unusual though for people that work in a kitchen.
It is, but I don't know. People laugh at me. It's all I do sometimes. It's just I leave work. I cook all day. I leave work, go home, cook for other people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just what I like.
It's in your DNA.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
Yeah. I love doing big dinner parties. Those are the best. You know, to do your own menu. All right. Make sure our egg isn't gonna just completely glue to this. Yeah, that's good. You want the yolk to be runny at the end, so it breaks over the sandwich, but for the white to be totally cooked. So, sunny side egg. You want to get a good toast on each side of this bread. Egg bread just caramelizes so well because of the sugar and the butter and the egg that's in there. And we're gonna flip it onto each other. Let the cheese melt. Looks nice. From there, it's pretty much as is. That. With our still runny sunny side egg on top. Big scoop of our delicious cheese sauce. This is a sandwich that you will need a knife and a fork for. This is not. This is not a handheld. It's not a pickup sandwich. No.
Well, it could be. Just bankrupt you guys with napkins. That's all. You know.
Little salad on the side since you're just packing in the butter and cheese. Might as well have a salad.
Yeah. I call this a justification salad.
Yes.
Because you can justify this because you've got the salad.
Yeah.
There you go.
Get a Diet Coke too. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just straight gin. Cut down the calories.
There you go, a beautiful sandwich here at Waverly, and of course the sauce. It goes with more than one dish. It's the real backbone, and some of the other sauces you have here as well. What are some of the other ones that you do?
We do a really nice spicy ketchup on some of our new dishes. We have the beurre blanc, obviously. We got a nice chicken gravy. We've got a really good beef gravy too. Yeah.
All right.
A lot of really nice sauces here.
All right. Well, there you go. Thank you for
And
doing
our salad
this.
dressings too.
Appreciate this.
Yeah,
Don't have to be so
thank
tall
you.
next time. It's
I'll
really
try.
kind of- So that's it for another edition of Ottawa Eats down here on Elgin Street at the Waverly. Thank you so much for having us. Really
Thank you for
appreciate
coming.
it.
We appreciate it.
Where can people find you to make reservations and to book any kind of party?
You can book online at thewaverleyonelgin.com or by calling us 613-627-4140.
All right.
You can also find us on Facebook or on Instagram, The Waverly Ott.
All right, and it's got a great vibe to it, a great place to have a party, and wow, I mean, the food looks absolutely spectacular. So I'm going to try a bite of this. Try and stop me. You're not trying to stop
I
me.
won't, I promise.
Okay.
Enjoy.
All right. I have a beautiful drink beside me as well. This is a big bite, but I'm not shy, so. So good. I love this show. This is my job. And cheers, by the way.
Cheers. Thanks again.